Hello everyone, this is ToadinWonderland. Welcome back to more of Pokemon Stadium 2. Well, at this point, we've pretty much cleared just about every cup in the Stadium mode, except for one, and that's right, all that's left to do is Prime Cup, the ultimate tournament without level restrictions. Let it all hang out. I promise you guys this particular set of battles will be awesome, intense, epic, fierce, whatever adjective you want to describe. This will definitely be worth watching, in my opinion. There are definitely very drastic rules for the Prime Cup. We'll take a quick look at them here. The number one thing is any Pokemon can enter. All 251 of Generation 1 and Generation 2 can enter. These are the same though. You still enter with 6 Pokemon to battle. They can't be the same though. They have to be unique. And you pick 3 out of 6 for each battle, and you try to pick the 3 that will have advantages over the likely opponents. Okay, and this is where it's really different as compared to the previous cups. It does not matter what level your Pokemon is for this cup. It could be level 1, it could be level 100, it doesn't matter. Any Pokemon up to level 100 may be used. Keep in mind though that all the Pokemon that your opponents will use will be set at level 100. And that's about it for the distinct rules. The rest are pretty much the same as before. Same items cannot be used. No 2 Pokemon asleep or frozen. The rules on the final Pokemon still apply with Self-Destruct, Explosion, Perish Song, and Destiny Bond. You can't do that on the last Pokemon or you lose. And you still get continues if you get a perfect in the battle. So with all that said, let's go ahead and get started with the Prime Cup. As before, I always do have a scan from the Nintendo Power Guide that I recently acquired, and for this particular set of battles, Nintendo Power suggests using a Fearow, Sandslash, Kadabra, Wobbuffet, Corsola, and a Magmar. I've never really used most of these. As a matter of fact, the only Pokemon that's on the team that I will be using is Kadabra. All the rest will be unique. But I've never really used any of the other 5 in this particular tournament. So I really can't say much if that's an effective team to use or not. And it definitely makes it even more interesting to know that, well, they don't really suggest if they use items with any of these Pokemon or not. And the main thing that they even said in the guide itself was to, pick a variety of types, and that they apparently use Wobbuffet a lot, like with the Mirror Coat and counter strategy a good bit. And that probably is an effective strategy, I'm not doubting that at all. But it seems like that's what they rely on for when they did the game. But with that said, I am going to pick some unique Pokemon on my own. I actually did something that I promised I'd do in the past and I never did. I actually have the team registered that I'm already going to use, and it's going to be team number 2 here. It's a little different from the first one, but the Pokemon I'm going to use are a Charizard with Charcoal, a Donphin with Quick Claw, Electrode with a Magnet, Hitmonlee with Miracle Berry, Kadabra with Scope Lens, and Umbreon with Black Glasses. And with all that said, let's go ahead and start the battles. If you don't have any of those items that I chose for it, for the Charizard, I guess the best item I could really recommend for it is the Paralyzed Cure Berry. Donphin would be good with the Ice Berry as before, in case it gets burned. Electrode, I really don't have any particular berry for Electrode. I guess the Burnt Berry, but that's not really saying much. Electrode's the one that's kind of getting the brush here in terms of items, if you're just going to use rental items only. But the Burnt Berry is all I could really recommend for Electrode, if you're going to go with the team that I'm going with. Hitmonlee, you want to give a Bitter Berry, and that will come very important in one of the later battles, because the later battles, as you can anticipate, get more intense. But the Bitter Berry is good for Hitmonlee. Kadabra, a Mint Berry, is good. There are Pokemon that will try to use sleep moves, as before. And Umbreon, the item that I would say to give to it is a regular berry. Defense is Umbreon's forte, I guess you could say. And I did not mean for that to rhyme, but whatever. Okay, with all that said, let's go ahead and start the first battle. Last Terry is our first trainer. As you can see, half of them are weak to fighting, so I am going to lead with Hitmonlee. I will also use Donphin because some are weak to ground. Oh, actually, not all of them, but the Ampharos, since it's electric. And we'll also use Electrode since a couple of them are weak to electric moves. That'll be our team. Alright, let's get it on. And this is definitely very intense, I assure you that. The number one thing is the drastic change in the stats of the Pokemon. As you can see, everyone's at level 100. And she leads with Ampharos, but that's not a problem. I'm actually going to switch right away. I will use Donphin. Ampharos will more than likely use an electric move. That's pretty expected. I will go ahead and warn though, just keep in mind that a lot of the Pokemon you face in Prime Cup will have more than their own type of moves. So, for example, this Ampharos, I believe, has Fire Punch, if I'm not mistaken, in addition to the electric moves. That way, basically the opponents give their Pokemon variety. And they're actually catching on to what I'm doing, because they just switched their Ampharos. It wouldn't surprise me to know that they switched, yep, to Togetic, because, or Togetic, whatever way you like to pronounce it. It's part flying, so my Earthquake move was useless. Not a big deal, though. I'm going to switch because, well, Donphin's not going to do much here, so we'll go to Electrode.
Both get ready to go.
Oh, and they're switching again. That's weird. I didn't expect her to do that, actually. Well, I pretty much revealed every Pokemon to her that I have on my team, and she did the same. So she has a Blossom, an Ampharos, and a Togetic. Isn't that interesting?
How will this Pokemon switch affect the flow of battle?
Well, I take it back. Oh yeah, I did start with Hitmonlee, that's right. I'm not even thinking. Well, Thunder's not going to do much to Blossom, so I guess I'll switch to Hitmonlee. I think the worst threat that this Blossom has is Giga Drain, as far as a damaging move goes. Okay, she's like kind of creeping me out and confusing me at the same time. I feel like she's trying to trick me. But I don't know. But I'm going to use High Jump Kick. Finally, a hit on a Pokemon. Boy, it took forever. What was that? Like, over 8 minutes into the video, and I finally landed a hit. That's pathetic, actually. And here we have the Miracle Berry kick into place. That's nice. Although I will say the poison status really isn't that big of a deal to worry about in Prime Cup. So don't let it freak you out, basically, is what I'm saying. Oh, they do. The Blossom does have Solar Beam. I forgot all about that. Well, I guess I'll use Reversal this time. It's not going to do much, but considering that Blossom only has 19 HP, it's, yeah, I figured. It'd still be strong enough to hit it. That is one thing I'll point out here. Hitmonlee, instead of having Mud Slap, it has Reversal as one of its moves. Some of the Pokemon in Prime Cup do have, the rental Pokemon do have certain move sets that have been changed, such as Hitmonlee. As you can see here, it has Reversal instead of Mud Slap. So keep that in mind. I'm actually going to lead with High Jump Kick here. It is part normal too, the Togetic, so it'll still do decent damage to it. And yeah, it knows Fly. So I actually am going to switch. I actually did contemplate switching the first turn, because whenever a Pokemon uses Fly, Thunder can still hit it no matter what. And that actually makes sense considering that they're up in the sky. You know, if you use logic and common sense for that. But anyway, what I was talking about earlier there is I used reversal instead of another high jump kick because reversal, unlike high jump kick, is actually 100% accurate. High jump kick does have a 10% chance of missing, and if you do miss with high jump kick, you do receive 1/8 the damage you would have normally caused to yourself. That's the only disadvantage of the move. So that's the price you get for having high power, I suppose. And it actually becomes more intimidating in later generations because high jump kick increases to 130 in power in the later generation games. And I think on this one it's like 100 if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to look at it again. I think it is 100 though. Okay, and the last Pokemon we're facing is Ampharos. We'll switch to Donphin. Again. This was the original strategy I tried to put into play. Especially considering that Electrode really can't do much to the Ampharos since it's electric. But anyway. Oh, yeah. I had a feeling they might do that. They caught on to the fact that I have a Donphin, so they went ahead and just did a Fire Punch. It also could be the fact that I was using Electrode, though, too, because Electrode is electric as well. So you don't know. But one Earthquake took it out. And that's all the opponents. Ended the battle. Although there was a lot of switching involved there. She's never really done that to me before. I'm guessing it's just because of the choices she made compared to what I picked. She almost always will have the Wigglytuff on the team. That's why I was surprised to not see it. And she does have other... a Furret as well, in addition to the Wigglytuff. But we got the Zephyr badge, that's what counts, and that was a perfect, so we get to continue. We're gonna move on to Battle 2. And I guess there's a couple things I'll talk about quick since we're this early on in the battles too. I think I did state this a good bit in the previous video, the Master Ball of the Poke Cup, but I'll go ahead and say this again. My laptop is functioning better now because I have finally determined the source of the problem. By the way, it is a good idea to lead with Kadabra here, and you also need Charizard since it's part flying. And a good third choice here, well, I suppose the Donphin would be alright since one of them is poison. So yeah, we'll go with Donphin. Plus has high defense. So gotta keep that in mind too. Yeah, you're probably sick of seeing Donphin and Kadabra at this point, but what can I say? They're really good Pokemon. And we just seen Charizard recently in the Master Ball difficulty level of the Poke Cup. Almost had... I was like stuck on words there for a second. And this Primeape has a Berserk Gene. Believed to be... well, actually, I think it is confirmed it is a piece of Mewtwo's genetic system. Or the chromosomes, if you want to get specific. What do they call that? Okay, it used Detect. I figured it would. I'm trying to think. What? Oh, Mewtwo's genome? Is that what? Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know, but basically the Berserk gene came from Mewtwo. That's what the idea is with that item. Power is given to you, but you get confused as a result of it. And I guess other Pokemon can't handle that extra power. That's the idea. But anyway, I was talking about my laptop. The issue that I discovered with it was that there was a large buildup of dust inside the fans and the vents on it. And it didn't come as a surprise to find out that that's what was causing it to heat up so much. And when it heats up like that, it also affects the other circuits that are inside the laptop itself. And I know this is getting a little technical, but this probably does make sense in a way too. But whenever there's a dust buildup like that, oh boy. Wow, Kadabra just hung in with that. But anyway, when you have a dust buildup like that, it can definitely cause problems for any computer, really, not just laptops. So if you notice that your fans are running really loudly, like you can hear them like picking up, like volume-wise, you can actually hear them running. It might be a good idea to like stop whatever you're doing and just check your fans, like whether you have a desktop or laptop. Laptops are easier to check. I'm not really familiar with how you open up the desktops towers specifically, and it varies depending on the brand too. But definitely check your fans and clean them out. You can use just like a spray can, like the canned air that they sell. That should work good for that. And if you didn't have like a microfiber cloth to just wipe it a little bit, because you can actually get some of the vents. It might vary depending on the system, but at least the canned air should be able to blow out the dust. But it makes a tremendous difference, because right now I'm not even hearing my fan running on my laptop at all, and that's a good sign. And I know that's what was causing the black screens, so that's a good tip I can recommend for a lot of you people. And as you can see, Kadabra dominated this battle. That was lovely. All of them were weak to Psychic, that's what the advantage was, except for the Wabuff if he decided to use it, but he didn't. And if that was the case, I probably would have just switched to, like, either probably Charizard, that way I could confuse it with physical and special moves. But, back to my topic, yeah, definitely check your fans inside your computer. And if you don't, that build-up, because I've experienced this, as you all know, it can lead to black screens and sudden shutdowns of your computer if that's interfering. But yeah, so just take care of your equipment. That still doesn't defer the desire for me. I still want to get a desktop PC. I wouldn't mind having one of my own. But my laptop will still do good for my LPs lately. For the time being, I mean. See, I already get words mixed up already. Alright, all of these, except the Gligar, are part flying. Well, it would make sense to lead with Electro, but I'm actually going to lead with Kadabra. This has happened before, and it may or may not happen here. The Gligar is part ground in addition to part flying, so if you lead with Electro, that could become a problem for you. So I definitely recommend that you lead with Kadabra first before you pick anything else. And Electrode is also a good choice to have as well. I mean, that makes sense. All of them are pretty much weak to electric except for the Gligar. And for third Pokemon, there really isn't anything specific I could pick here. I guess the Umbreon if I absolutely have to. Yeah, it really doesn't matter for my third choice, to be honest. I will go ahead and say, though, that if you have a water Pokemon on your team, that's also ideal for some of them. Because some of them are weak to water in addition to electric, such as the Charizard and the Aerodactyl. Also, Kadabra also has Reflect, and I strongly recommend you use that move here, especially for Dodrio. Because Dodrio, just like in the Master Ball difficulty, if you ever face it, it knows Tri-Attack, as I just called. So Reflect was good, that way I'm able to land in hits easier. So I'll just use Thunder Punch here, and that's another reason why I lead with Kadabra too, considering that it knows Thunder Punch. Oh, they're going to resort to Toxic.
The poison will steadily weaken the victim.
I do know that, Mr. Announcer Dude.
Battle continues.
What do we call him? Ted? Is that the name I've given him? Because that's what I found out when I looked him up recently. Well, I guess it wouldn't be recent by the time I'm recording this again, but you know what I mean. Yeah, we'll call him Ted. Because I don't know what else to call him at this point. And I think that is... I'm pretty sure that's his name, if I'm not mistaken. Alrighty, Charizard here again. Well... I guess we'll just keep using Thunder Punch. I have a feeling we might go down soon, though, with Kadabra. Considering it's taken some hits already. And the Toxic kicking in, too. That's good for me, at least. Yeah, I figured that would happen. Well, I hope he doesn't have Gligar at this point, because that's basically the threat I have to face now. If he does have that. I don't know if he did pick that or not. We'll find out soon enough. Something else I'm going to talk about here now quickly, though, while I'm in the earlier battles. Recently, I'm pretty sure most of you know who this person is, but Madame Wario is another Let's Player on YouTube, way more popular than me, and she's done it LPing longer than what I have. But if you were interested in making LPs too, recently she made a series of advice videos for people who are new at LPs, and I've even looked at them myself. I really agree with a lot of what she has provided. All of her tips and everything. And I also want to thank her. I don't know if she's going to ever see me say this, but see me say this, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know if she'll ever hear me saying this, but I will tell her thank you for using my username as an example in one of her videos. One of the videos that she went into, and why did I use Thunder? I could have easily used Swift here. I'm so distracted by things. Well, that was my mistake. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. Swift could have definitely taken it out. That way I didn't have to worry about the accuracy. Off topic already. I just want to say, though, Madame Wario, one of the advice videos she made was about picking a username. And she actually said my username was a really good example of being creative. And I definitely agree with her, but I'm also really honored and really thankful that she picked mine. Like, I'm somebody that she doesn't really know, and like, I mean, I'm a fan of hers, definitely, but I'm just, like I said, I'm really honored that she picked my name. I'm just, like, thank you. That's just very kind of you to use my username as an example for when you were talking about advice on LPing. So, Madame Wario, if you're watching this, ToadinWonderland thanks you very, very much. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. And anyway, with that in mind, I know we're kind of strafing from the battle here. Umbreon can take some hits, so that's a good idea to have it on the team too, because it's got high defense and special defense. But we got our claim badge. So, with that out of the way, the battles are going to start getting more intense.